So today we'll be talking about what's the impact of waste on our planet. As a regular day consumer, you would throw something away and it just goes away. So when we break it down and learn more about it, we can be more aware and do something about it. So, Yanuts, can you speak more about waste and how it's affecting our planet?
Yes, of course. Let's go and see some numbers, and let's understand through these numbers what's really happening with our trash, with our waste.
Right.
First of all, if we speak about generating around 1.6 pounds per day, it's not something big. It's 1.6 pounds. But in this moment we have 2 billion tons. 2 billion tons of waste generated each year on this planet.
Makes your skin crawl.
So if we go to pounds,
Right.
it's about how many trillions of pounds each year that we generate. And imagine on this planet, we do not recycle more than 15%. So a huge quantity of waste and trash is going into our nature,
Right.
creating some landfills, some hills, but they're not natural.
Right.
This is not something that God made on this earth, and we shouldn't change this rule. So the numbers are huge. And if now we have 2 billion tons, all the figures show us that until 2050, we will generate 3.4 billion tons of waste each year on this planet.
If we don't do anything about it.
Even if we do something, we will generate.
Right.
The main idea in the future is to understand how we change our consumption habits in order not to generate so much. So
Correct.
the most important thing is to understand our consumption and our impact as citizens, because we love to buy. Everywhere in this world, we love to buy, and we have to change this.
Correct.
I'm very glad that I can see, for example, in my kids, the desire to decrease the consumption, to say something, let's use more reusable, because I can drink water each day of this and not generating any plastic bottle or glass bottle
Right.
or anything regarding on this one. And we can see the new generation going into this direction, which is a great thing. Secondly, we have to understand what is the connection between waste and ocean. Everybody speaks now about plastic pollution in ocean and everywhere. Where is it coming from? From us. We consume, we generate, and because we do not have a good sanitation, we do not collect properly the waste around the world, we generate this kind of waste into our ocean, taken by the rivers. 50 years ago, in my country's side, and I'm sure that all around the world it was the same, people are using the rivers to put the waste there. But 50 years ago, 70 years ago, it was mainly a bio-waste. So it was waste from the gardens, from food. If you put, it's like a natural compost.
Right.
Then we discovered the plastic and the packaging.
Right.
But the habit of sending the packaging waste to river remained. We put there all the waste for the last 50 years. Yeah, but it was not plastic 50
Right.
years ago.
Right.
So we discovered around the world, not only in Romania, but also in Asia, in Africa, with a lack of infrastructure for collection, everybody put the waste away from home in the forest, near the lakes, the river, and the water is taking everything, going into the bigger rivers and then to the ocean. So we have pollution. But we can say that maybe poor countries from Asia and Africa are polluting our ocean. But we have the numbers, and United States is number 20 on this list, official list from United Nations, which is polluting the ocean.
Right. So
And
it
we
starts,
have infrastructure.
starts with Asian countries.
We
which
have
is where
China,
everyone-
we have
right.
Indonesia,
But United
Philippines,
States is in there too.
Nigeria. We think that, okay, this is the country, poor country from undeveloped yet country from Asia and Africa, but we have number 19 North Korea and number 20 United States. So we have to do something. We have to change something on the numbers. And this is polluting the ocean, but think about climate change.
Right.
Everybody speaks now about climate change, global warming. What is the impact of what we do each day? And not only about waste, but if we change the consumption and we do more reusable
Right.
or sustainable packaging, first of all, our main impact is on decreasing of extraction of new raw material from this earth. So this is the first positive impact that we can have by changing the consumption, by changing the recycling.
Yeah.
First of all, no more or much more less primary raw material that we take out of this earth to consume for our day-by-day living.
Right.
Secondly, reuse.
Mhm.
This is the best thing that we can do, and we have to discover how we can reuse more. If I want to drink water or to drink a beer or a beverage or to go to buy some food, I need only the product. I do
Right.
not need the packaging.
Right.
The packaging is made, of course, for our health because we have a lot of logistics, we have a lot of problems that can appear onto this one. I agree, but let's discover how we can use more reusable packaging on this one
Right.
and more sustainable packaging from this one. We have in Europe, it's allowed to use PET waste
Mhm.
from PET to a new PET from bottle to bottle.
Mhm.
In America, sometimes in many areas, it's forbidden to do this because it's still an issue about health.
Mhm.
But plastic, it's something with a negative impact on our health, no matter what.
Right.
And climate change, we can do something positive in this one. When I discovered this book, and I think everybody should read this one, Drawdown. This is a plan to reverse global warming. It's edited by a great guy, Paul Hawken, and I congratulate him and more than 100 experts
Yeah.
which work on this plan, which proves that if we start today, we can reverse the global warming effects on our Earth. And I was not very surprised to discover waste as a very important issue, from waste to energy to plastic waste to bio-waste, industrial waste, and everything. If we do waste management correctly, we can contribute up to 10% to this plan of reverse global warming.
That's a big percentage.
It's a huge one. We can decrease the CO2 emission with 2.8 gigatons each year if we do it correctly.
Mhm.
And it is not something that we cannot do this one. Imagine how much also is the business in waste and recycling industry.
Mhm.
It's a very good business. It should be more transparent.
Yes.
It should be more focused on recycling, not on revenue from landfill or collection. But it's a lot of jobs here in this industry, a lot of revenue, a lot of taxes for the government, and a lot of secondary raw material. But in this moment, today, only in the United States, we are losing 100, I have here some numbers, $175 billion worth of recyclable containers and packaging and food waste in our landfill each year. $175 billion. Is somebody here who needs this money?
Yes.
I'm sure that even a penny, it's
Right.
worth, it's very good to take out of this one. And each year we have only in United States 260 million tons of waste. So we contribute around 10%, more than 10%,
Mhm.
13, 14% of the total waste generation on this earth. And let's discuss some numbers. Packaging. Packaging waste, we recycle almost 50% of this one, but it's based mainly on paper and cardboard. So the number on packaging is good. Oh, we recycle 50%. Yes, but
Paper
on
and
glass,
cardboard is most of it.
on glass it's 33%. On aluminium, 36%. On plastic, less than 15% recycling rate. On wood, 27%. How much we lose here? Food waste. Food waste, it's a huge impact on the environment, and we have only 25% recycling and composting rate on food waste. So it's a huge loss of resources that we do in this moment, and the numbers are showing that unfortunately we increase. Why we increase? Because sometimes using the marketing reasons, using the reasons that we need to convince our consumer to buy more, to do better, we started to use different type of plastic, of packaging. Even when you do the e-commerce, we have a lot of extra packaging on e-commerce. You see some boxes like this, and inside a product like this.
Right.
So it's a huge impact on this one. Then you discover, okay, let's do some envelopes. Some yellow envelopes, white envelopes, paper outside, plastic inside. It's less packaging. Yes, but it's not recyclable.
Right.
We cannot who can stay and
separate
separate each paper, by plastic, and each of this one. So when we design something which is creating a convenience for us or a profit for us, let's think also about what's happening after the end of life of that product, when it's becoming waste.
Right.
So the numbers are big, and the impact of China and Asia ban on United States exports of waste, it will be big. I think we will decrease. We'll see the numbers, very official numbers very soon, but I believe that starting 2018, we decrease our recycling rates.
Oh yes, because
So
2018 is when the ban
2018,
started.
we have the ban from China, and from 35 gross recycling rate, I think we'll go less than 30. And we have huge impact. We have a lot of communities, cities, counties that are, for example, for glass, they are they quit collecting the glass in the single stream, which has a very big impact on this one, and we'll speak more about this one. But numbers, 10% of our plan to reverse global warming will come from waste and recycling. If we do it correctly, we help the climate change. We have this plan to reverse global warming. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.